Okay, so here's the solar panel mounted. Cable connection going in to a junction box. Sealed gland. 70 watts in full sun now. Down below, excuse the mess, in this little cupboard, under the navigation table, a solar charge controller, and that cable there leading up to our meter. Here's the meter showing what's happening at the moment. So we have 17 volts coming in full sunshine, and we see that it's actually charging the batteries at 13.6 volts and 4.9 amps. So it's getting pretty full sun at the moment, and I've seen it going up to 5.3 amps, which is pretty good for such a little panel. So this shows you what's happening at the panel, at the battery, and at any load if you are running lights or anything like that that was switched through the solar controller. And you just use these buttons to see what's happening. So that's showing an arrow under the panel, so that shows what the panel voltage is actually putting out. Now it's showing under the battery, so it's what the voltage actually going in the battery, supplied to the battery, and the amperage that's actually charging the battery up. And we see here this little panel, these 5 bars, it's actually 60% full. And this shows any load that's on the switching side. If you wanted to have lights switched by the solar controller, you can have them switched here, and you can do it manually with this button here, on or off, or you can have it sensed by the solar panel itself. When the solar panel is not getting charged by sunlight, it knows it's dark, so it switches lights on. And when daylight comes, the solar panel starts charging and it switches this circuit off. So it means you can hook it up to the anchor light or whatever. Looks like a handy gadget to me. I haven't wired that in yet, but that's what I'm here for today. So this is just the amp hour settings of the battery. The battery is actually 464, but since they're not brand new, I've dropped that down to 450. And this is the temperature, the ambient temperature. And so if the ambient temperature is warmer, then it alters the charging characteristics of the controller. So it takes notice of the temperature. This is showing the state of charge. Now this is purely voltage based. It's not based on the memory of what's actually gone in by amp hours. So it's not always accurate, but It's still looking, when I got here, it's still looking quite healthy. When I got here, it was about 60%. So the bright sunshine today, but I've used a bit of power as well, running the freezer and a few other things. So it's been up and down a little bit. And this shows you the temperature compensation factor, which I'm not sure how to program, but so I've just left it as a default at this stage. So if you keep pushing the button, it just goes around in circles with the data that it's showing you, depending on which way you go. So it's a 450 amp hour bank, and it's a flood type battery. That means lead acid. And this is for the light function. At the moment it's set to stay on 16 hours a day, or when daylight arises, when dawn comes, it'll switch off, whichever comes sooner. And this is supposed to be, I think, the amount of watt hours that the solar panel has produced. Not quite too sure how that works, that bit. So now we're back to the panel voltage. And what is that? There you go, 5.4. That's the best I've seen it yet. 5.4 amps.